Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Success Point. Today I am going to give you an introductory class about a topic in economics which is demand. So to begin with, the question might arise in your mind about what is demand. Well, demand is a quantity of a commodity that can be purchased at a particular price during a particular period of time. Now, for example, your mother has sent you to a grocery shop to buy 1 kg of rice. So, in order to buy this 1 kg of rice, you need to pay rupees 50. So, at this point of time, your demand is 1 kg of rice for which you are paying rupees 50. Now, while writing the definition of demand, you need to consider 3 things in mind. First thing is, demand and desire is not same. Demand for a commodity is the desire for a commodity backed up by the purchasing ability. If you wish to buy a commodity, suppose if you wish to buy a diamond ring but you don't have enough money to buy that, then that only remains as a desire. Whereas if you have the ability to buy that diamond ring, it becomes your demand. So the next thing, the point number 2 to consider in your mind while writing the definition of demand is the price. Demand cannot occur without a price. You have to pay a price for what you demand. The third thing which you have to keep in mind while writing the definition of demand is time period. A demand might change with respect to the time period, and a demand is always expressed with respect to the time period. For example, the demand for car in 2 days, 2 weeks and 2 months might not be the same. Suppose the demand for car in 2 days might be 3, the demand for car in 2 weeks it might be 8, and the demand for car in 2 months it might be 1500. So it changes from time to time. So time period should always be considered while writing the definition of demand. Next, we come to the types of demand. Well, there are 5 types of demand. First is individual and market demand. Now, what do we mean by individual demand? Well, individual demand is a demand for a commodity that for which an individual is willing to pay a price at a particular time period. So, for example, you want to buy an ice cream in summers at rupees 10. Suppose. So that ice cream, that one quantity of 1 cup of ice cream at rupees 10 is your individual demand. Now what do we mean by market demand? Well, the market demand is a quantity of all the commodities that a household, or rather all the households in a particular locality is willing to buy at a particular price during a particular time period. Now, the demand of all those households living in that locality is your market demand. I hope it's clear. Next, we come to the second category, second type of demand, which is the ex ante and ex post demand. Ex ante demand is the willingness to buy a commodity in near future. Ex post demand is when you are actually buying that commodity. So ex ante is a probabilistic situation, while ex post is a practical situation where you are actually buying that commodity. Next, we come to the joint demand. When the demand for one commodity rises the demand for another commodity automatically, it is called as joint demand. For example, some complementary commodities. For example, car and petrol, milk and sugar, tea and sugar. These are joint demand. If you demand for one commodity, you have to have the demand for another commodity. Next, we come to derived demand. When the demand for one commodity leads to the rise in demand of other commodities, it is called as derived demand. So you might get confused between joint demand and derived demand. So let me explain the difference. Derived demand is the demand of one commodity which results in the rise of other commodities. For example, if you want to build a house, you might need obviously the steel to make the base, the cement, the sand, and various other things. So as in your demand was for a house, but as a result of which you have created the demand for all the raw materials to build up the house. So this is your derived demand. Whereas joint demand is when you want to buy a car, you have to buy the petrol for the car. So your buying a car is complementary with your buying the petrol for the car or the maintenance of the car. This is your joint demand. Next, we come to the fifth and the last type of demand, which is composite demand. Well, composite demand is a demand when demand for you desire or demand for one commodity, but this one commodity might be used in various forms. For example, milk. If you are demanding for milk, you can use it for making tea, you can drink it as it is, you can use it for making curd, you can use it for making various other desserts. So your demand was for milk, but you could use it in various forms. So that is your composite demand. So everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions in your mind, please do write it up in the comment section. And if you like the video, please subscribe to our channel and like it as well as share it. Thank you.